Hello everyone, this is Alex, and today we are doing some counterpoint. More specifically, 5-voice counterpoint. I will be attempting to do a 5-voice counterpoint in front of you to show you maybe how it can be done, and hopefully this can be useful to you. If you're not familiar with counterpoint, it's actually a very nice exercise to make your melodic lines better and to work on polyphony, which means to put some different lines together and how they can be complementary to each other. It's a class that is taught in most universities, and it focuses on modes and tonality. But what is so important and interesting with counterpoint, even if you don't use modality and tonality in your own musical language, is because first you have to be creative with what you're given, which is a cantus firmus, which is a melodic line that you have to deal with to create a counterpoint on top of it. And also you have to be musical within this very strict context of rules. And of course these rules can be banned, and while composing, you're not necessarily following these strict rules, but it can give you a sense of what's interesting, what sounds good in a certain context, what doesn't sound good in the same context, and vice versa. So if you're interested in counterpoint, please follow my channel. I might do some more in the future. So let's dive in. So here's a counterpoint. I will be composing this for a string orchestra. So we have the 2 sets of violins, we have violas, we have cellos, and double bass. The cantus firmus will be on the cellos. So it's a line that I cannot touch, I cannot change, and this is what I have to work with. And now I have to write 4 other lines that are free, that respect certain counterpoint rules, and I will be going over those while I'll be writing my lines. So first, to begin with, I like to compose the line below the cantus firmus if it's in that disposition. So I'll be starting with the double bass first. The double bass is also the lower line, so we have to be careful with the different chords. We have to be careful with the chords we're presenting, because in counterpoint we cannot present second inversions. And it's also the line that we will feel the most because it's the bass line of the whole counterpoint. So it's quite an important one. So it's good to start with this one. So first I'm gonna start with the syncopation. I see the counterpoint, the cantus firmus going up, so I like to be going in an inverted direction. So I will be trying to go down here. So I start with the F, because we have to start with the F sharp. So yeah, we are in F sharp minor. So the syncopation is not so interesting because it just gives us a similar chord. So I'll just try and go down and see where it leads me. So this is a passage note, so we have to go somewhere. We could go to D here. It's actually giving us a 6th. Note that the double bass sounds an octave lower than it's written, so we're actually below the cello here. Yeah, we can go down still. Oh, this is good for another syncopation because we have the octave here, and this one's going up an octave, giving us a 9th here, and we have to resolve syncopations on the 3rd beats. So we're going to A here, which is a 10th. We could go up now, D, like this. This gives us a 5th. And 5ths, we have to be careful with them because we cannot do parallel 5ths. We cannot do direct 5ths. Direct 5ths are 2 lines jumping on 5ths. So we cannot do these because they sound harsh. But if the lines are going in opposite directions, there's no problem there. So let's see. This is starting to get real high and we're going down here. So I'll do a jump, a 6th jump underneath like this. And then I can go up again. On the G, which gives us a 10th again. Let's try and go up with neighboring notes only. Oh yeah, this gives us another 5th, which is good. And then just a neighboring note like this here to create a little bit tension before the end. And we can finish on F again. So let's listen to these 2 lines together. So we got quite a variety of different intervals, so I like that. We don't know yet all the different harmonies that will be there. Maybe with the third and the fourth line, we will have a better idea, a better sense, and we can start to think harmonically. But first, when I'm doing counterpoint, I like to do just the lines and make sure all the lines are individually interesting. And then we think about harmony and how to make the harmony better. So let's do the third line then. So we can do, I will do quarter notes to begin. And maybe with an A, because we just got Fs here. So let's introduce the third. And let's try and going up then, because this other line is pretty much going up. Okay, maybe this. So this goes down on the E, and this goes up on the F. So this creates an interesting friction that will resolve here on the third bar. Let's try. Okay. Let's try and go up on the A. This was gives us an octave here. Again, octaves, if you want to avoid problems, they should be attacked in the opposite directions. So this is good. Let's do another syncopation because I like those. Syncopations are amazing in free counterpoint like this. They can just create so much color and tension and create a wide variety of rhythms. So this is good because we complete the chord here. We got G, B, and E. Also, the E major is in first inversion, so we get an interesting chord here. We touch the second inversion here with the B, but it's a neighboring note, so it's not a problem. That's one of the many rules in counterpoint. So let's get give some space to this line and do an octave down. We have to go up now because we've just been going down a lot, so we have to compensate. So that's one of the thing. That's one of the important thing in counterpoint. So this is good because we go back to A, Mi, Fa, Sol, just like that. Let's have a listen to these three lines together. Good, so you see there's starting to have some little complementary rhythms. Like the first bar here, we got 8 notes. Here we got this syncopation coming. We got here an exchange between half notes, and syncopations. And then again, an exchange here, different rhythms here, and so on and so forth until the end. There's no rhythm that's very much repeated. So we're starting to have a piece. Actually, this is a perfect example of a 3-voice counterpoint. It works. The rhythms are complementary. But let's keep going and do a 4th voice, and this is where things might start getting tricky. So since the violas are leaving the A's, I will be using maybe a A here as a syncopation again. Just because we need to start and find ways to complete the chords. While you have 4 or 5 voices, it's to your advantage to use all notes within the chords, just so your lines are not so stuck. Okay, so let's go up here because we kind of have not much space down here. So to the D, which is fine. This gives us a nice B minor chord. Now I'd like to cross with the viola, but this is just not great. You know, it's a second and again a second, just exchanging like this. So so what should I do here? So maybe something actually C, La. Yeah, something like this is good. Yeah, something like this is interesting. C, La, C. Okay, so when you compose new lines, you might have to change the ones you already done. You just try to not mess up too much the things that you already done. But this way we have here a nice group of this is thirds, parallel thirds just here. So it will bring a nice color to our line. So what next? Can go to A. The result of this syncopation down here is the A. So ideally we would not present the A, but in 4 or 5 voices, sometimes you don't have a choice. Like I said, it's very hard to avoid presenting all the notes from the chord. It's always 3-note chords, so yeah, La, Si, Do, Ré. Here we have a direct octave with the bass line, so it's not ideal, but at least one of the line is using neighboring notes, so it's not so bad. And there's so many things in between, so this is kind of a rule that I would bend in this context, just to preserve the musicality of this line here. So can go to the F. This will gives us, but actually this is not good because we have DF here and DF down here. I know it's opposite movement, but it's just too much the same, so it's not very nice for counterpoint to do this. So what do? I want to go to B here. Sometimes it's a good idea, like, can I do something like this? I don't think so, because we have E. This will gives us parallel fifths here, fifths, so that's bad. Maybe can I do A? No, because we will have parallel octaves. So maybe I can do this and change this here instead. This is A. Instead I might do something like E. So I can do D here. Yeah, this is great. I get a lot of jumps here, but that's life. But sometimes you gotta do them. So let's see where I can go. Maybe jump back up here. Like, this line is super diatonic, as opposed to this one, which starts to get a little jumpy. So we'll see what this leads us, but this is something you gotta be careful. Let's try and be really, yeah, this is good. Like, maybe we can compensate this one being really jumpy with this one being a little bit more diatonic. Like, when you see these notes, just neighboring notes, it's just so easy to sing and to play, and it sounds good too. So you should try and add them as much as possible, but not too much also. You want, like, this line to have little jumps here and there to create some musicality. Otherwise it's just scales going up and down. So what do I do for the last note? Maybe A. A doesn't work because we have it here. Maybe we have to go back to C here. Yeah, I think we're good here. Let's have a listen. So things are starting to be a little bit too fast, so I'll slow it down. But yeah, when you're adding a fourth voice, it can be interesting to create some parallel thirds, like here, like I've done here. Here at the end, I'm doing some opposite movements, which is just great. I might add some quarter notes here at this bar. I think it brings us to a stop a little bit too much. Once we're used to hear quarter notes, then we have to give them. If you listen to Bach, when he add in a certain value, usually a shorter value, then it just comes back again. Otherwise, the piece feel like it's stopping. When the rhythm stops, it usually means like there's a cadenza, or like it's at the end of the piece. So anyway, let's keep going. Well, actually, let's start to write our chords. Here we have F minor, so that's first degree. Here we have D major, and the first on the first inversion, so that's on F sharp. Here we have B minor, which is good, and we start on the D here. So we have both the first inversion and the root chord. Then A major, D major, E major, and that's on the first inversion on G sharp. And like I said, this one's going on the B, so we touch the second inversion. And like I said, second inversion are not allowed in counterpoint. Maybe on the last chord before the end, if you want to do a 1 6 4 5 1 cadenza, but otherwise we try to avoid them just because they sound too harsh. Like these are chords with a fourth at the base, and it just sounds a little bit too harsh and suspended like a chord, and suspended in this language, of course. C sharp minor to and. Then again F sharp minor, sorry. Yeah, F sharp minor on the beginning as well. So that's one. We have D major, which is 6. We have B minor, which is 4. We have A major, which is 3. We have D major again, which is 6. Notice that the D major is not on F sharp, it's not on the first inversion, so it's a variation. It's not like we're repeating the same chord. We're really showing a different color of the chord. And then E major is 7, and C minor is 5. So we only show the 5-1 at the end, which is great. It gives us a sense of relief. And otherwise, you can see 1 6 4 3 6 7 5 1. It's really a nice progression, and it's diverse. So I think overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this. So let's finish with the last line. I would start by doing some links with the violas here. Maybe a group of thirds going up. Do, re, mi, fa. This is just perfect with the melodic lines and the different chords that we have. So when you see an opportunity like this, you have to take it. And again, I see violins 1 and 2. Now we have sixths. We could go up A, G, A, B, like this to have this group of 6 going up. A, B, but A, B doesn't work here. Maybe like Fa, Sol, Fa, Si. And then we can go back down an octave maybe to give some space. This doesn't work very well. Maybe Re, Fa, Mi. Yeah, Mi, Re, Mi here is good. We get a third here, a third. So groups of thirds, always try and present them. And groups of 6 as well. We can go up here on the F to keep following that line. And now we can go up again, but like I cannot do Fa Mi Re. I can do Fa Mi Re. I can do F E, but he's already presenting the E, so I'd rather be doing something like that. Doing a syncopation here. So I'm crossing under the violin 2. So it's interesting. I like the crossing effect and with various voices like this. The violin takes over, the violin 2 takes over as the leading notes. And it's quite actually a nice line, so I'd rather hear that one than maybe this one here. And maybe here it can jump to the G sharp. And then end with a movement of sixth. Something like that. All right, so I put everything in Ableton so you can see the MIDI files. We have it here. So you can visually see how complementary these lines can be. Opposite direction, the double bass and the violas. Same thing with the violin, seems like very complementary that way, even more. Look at these two lines, they're really amazing. That's the double bass and the violin too. Amazingly symmetrical. It's something you're really looking for when you're doing counterpoint. Of course, all lines cannot be symmetrical, but if some of them can be, it gives you a very satisfying result. And that's why maybe I had so few mistakes and so few problems. Normally you get a lot more problems where doing a 5-voice counterpoint like I did, but it seems like I didn't get too many. So let's have a listen first, the cello and the double bass. Let's add in the violas. So we see the little crossover here. It really feels the gap between these two lines, which are very far apart. So yeah, let's add in the second violin now. Good. So we have a huge gap at the end here, really. I'm not sure what to do with this. Like, it would not be very musical to jump down here after such a long melodic line going down. Like mi, re, do, si, la, sol, do. It's a little bit too big. I would rather do this. And finally, let's hear the whole thing with 5 voices. So there you have it, a very nice counterpoint. And I think a lot of it has to do with the different chords we ended up with. Also the fact that we allowed us to begin with the bass. And the bass you can give it a wider distance with the tenor line. The only thing I'm not so satisfied here is the ending. Maybe we could actually put it down an octave like this. Maybe these 3 notes here. Maybe here we could do something like this. Maybe a last syncopation at the end, which would give us something like this. I think this should work. It's just, I don't like where the lines are just always going down, going down. It might be better actually. I really disliked the fact that these two groups of notes were so far apart. It just doesn't sound very nice. Maybe if you have the 3 notes up here and then 1 note down here, it's just sound a little bit better. But this with nothing in between is just a little bit harsh, especially as a final chord. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to learn more about counterpoint and other composition related topics, you can follow my channel. And if you'd like to learn more about counterpoint specifically, at the time I'm recording this video, I'm currently preparing a counterpoint class to be made available for you. So when I will be releasing this later this year, I'll be putting a link down in the description below so you can have access to it. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.